between 4 and 3 and 24, they got a machine going at running back right now. They're all really, really good players. I mean, they are. I mean, they're really good football players. They're good inside runners. They're good outside runners. We got to buck up now and be ready to go against this crowd.
How would you describe Gurley's running style?
He's strong. He's elusive. Once he breaks the line of scrimmage, I've seen very few safeties get him down. He's got a lot of big plays.
Coach, speaking of that, I think they lead the country in plays over 20 yards. What do they do well, and why are they just so explosive?
Well, I mean, they obviously have a great quarterback. And like I told you, they got 3 tailbacks as good as I've seen. I'll be real honest with you. You know, I was at Wisconsin all those years, and we had Ronnie Dane and Brett Moss and all those guys. These guys are in the same league as those kind of runners now. They're downhill runners. Their offense makes them downhill runners. Even when they run toss sweeps, they're downhill runners. You know, they run the power and they toss it back to the guy so he doesn't have to change direction. They want to hit it downhill. So sometimes it's famine, but most of the time this year for them, it's been feast. Boy, they break the line of scrimmage and they're to the secondary before you know it.
And after you guys gave up some big plays the first couple games with Akron, you only gave up 2 over 20.
Well, 2's too many, but the one was very disappointing. I felt like we played good except for one play.
And so you feel like you guys are getting better at cutting those down, though? At least it looked like.
Yeah, but still, it's not good enough. You know, I mean, really, it only takes one to beat you. You know, and they stayed in the football game, in my opinion, because of that one play before the half.
Did McCullers play at all on defense Saturday night, or was it just?
No, he did not. He was just in on PAT and field goal block.
So,
we had a couple times when they were lining up, they were going to line up in 12 personnel, and we put them on the field. They changed personnel, so we took them off.
well, I know he hasn't obviously played a lot in 3 of your games so far. Is conditioning at all an issue or concern?
Well, it's not so much conditioning; it's more personnel groups. You know, when we're getting spread offenses and stuff, and we got to change personnel.
Yeah.
You know, he lumbers a little bit getting on and off the field sometimes. You know, so. But you know, he'll play a lot more this week because they're going to be in more traditional formations.
Well, I guess him not having played more like 30 snaps in a game, but just the Florida game, is it a concern that he's only done that once going into a game like this?
No, I don't think so because Dan Hood can always go in there and spell him, and we'll be fine.
You got 3 defensive line starters. They're all junior college guys. Can you just talk about what you've gotten out of those 3?
Well, I think at times we've gotten a lot out of them, and other times we haven't gotten what we needed. I know I'm dancing around the issue a little bit, but I think, Mo Couch by far has been the most consistent. Dan McCullers has done what we asked him to do when we're playing against a 2-back team or a 3-back team or a 2 tight end team. He's done what we asked him to do. Centimore has been inconsistent at times. He's done some very good things, and then other times he's been inconsistent.
How do you feel about your rotation on the defensive line?
Well, I mean, I feel okay about it. You know, I'd really like to get McCullers in more in nickel stuff. But like I said, sometimes he lumbers getting on and off the field sometimes fast enough for us to make substitutions. So we'll see. I'd like to be able to get him in nickel in our sub package this week.